Hello and welcome to Cutter Builds. We're back with another episode of Foundry. I went ahead and added another smelter here with the intent of making more plates, but it's not actually running because we're not generating enough ore. Believe it or not, we have finally burned through the backlog of all of the drone ore. They're doing a great job, but we've got plenty of room to set up another one of these. However, if I want to run more ore into the same conveyor belt, I'm kind of realizing that this what is it called again? Ignium? This ignium ore is a little bit in the way. So I'm going to move the power reactor over to this side of the platform, I think. We'll toss it down right over here, and that should solve our power issues. So let me grab this, or not our power issues, but the issues with the power not being in a convenient spot. Get this conveyor belt out of our way. And we'll put it right here. We'll keep the panel on the inside. This is kind of our normal walkway. And get one of these doohickeys in here to pull the ore in. And of course, because we broke it, we've got to start it off with some fuel. There we go. The fact that there's a residual fuel icon here tells me eventually we're going to get some kind of fuel that has something that gets created as a byproduct, which will be interesting. I can't wait to get into those more advanced things. And let's try and do this. I'm going to use our fancy tool. We're going to get rid of that whole belt all at once. Oh, that's super convenient. Now, in order to fix our problems here, how are we going to do this? First off, I need a drone miner, which means we need more plates, and that's the problem, right? We don't have enough plates to do things. One more drone miner on the way. Ideally, I'd put it on the other side here so that I can start mining the rest of this. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't have a great place to put it. Maybe for now, we're going to be lazy. I'm going to put it down right here, same spot. We'll move all of these eventually when we need to. And I know everything's just kind of being done haphazardly right now. I'm going to just have it come out right here on the side. And I'm going to wrap the belt around and we'll just bring it over here. We'll be in the way of our miners ever so slightly. Shouldn't be a big deal. And now I've got double the ore going into these smelters. And double the ore means we should now have plenty of plates being built. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these going on. We're seeing 4 in a row here. I've got, what, 3 spaces left in between them that I could put some more stuff? Maybe 2? I can't tell. Either way, that's going to help us out quite a bit. I don't see any problems with our other parts getting created. I think we're doing pretty good here. So let's go ahead now, see how many of these Science Pack 2s we've gotten. Quite a few getting made up. We are coming up short on the conveyors right now from a construction perspective. The conveyors are on the other side here, and I think they were getting starved for plates. We've got the plates coming in now again, finally, but it's not quite back up to running. So we could probably use a few more smelters over there. We're going to go jump on that in just a second. I want to drop some of the Science Pack 2s off. I've got some in that one already. I'm going to drop these in here, and then let's see what we can discover. I haven't really been limited by conveyor speed just yet, so I think what we're going to do, as interesting as explosives are, we're going to get basic steel making next. That's going to give us access to a crusher. I'm not sure what that does yet. And then an advanced machinery parts. And then I can make a xenoferrite ignium ore blend, which is probably going to be what makes steel in a smelter. And then we have smelter and smelter small. So eventually here we're going to be able to make a bigger smelter Maybe that comes along with this. I don't see it. And then we've got Assembler 2 coming, which should make things a little bit faster. I don't know if it's going to have the same footprint. It looks like it does. So this is probably just a faster 1.5 at 100 kilowatts versus 1 at 50. 3 times the power for 50% increase in build speed. That's all right. It'll help us keep our footprint down as we start to get bigger. But we are going to have another use for this material other than just power generation soon, which is going to make things very interesting. I suppose what we can do when that time comes is set up another miner on this side and combine those 2 resources and smelt the steel off of another line on the other side of the facility there. I really should, at some point here, automate getting these Science Pack 2s over to the research, but for the time being, we use them up so slowly that it's really not that big of a hassle when we're waiting on other things to just run over here and drop a few off. So we're still running a little low on plates here to keep the conveyors moving, because the conveyors get starved out because they come after the floor pieces here. And now that I've added in a few more smelters, I'm not quite keeping up, but we're starting to get there, and I think it's just going to take a minute for all these plates to start moving. So now I've got a total of 6 of these smelters running, and we've got plenty of ore to keep up with that. In fact, this miner was starting to get full because this one kind of fills up the belt first, and then it comes in, and this one wasn't having any space to empty things. That's not a problem anymore. And as you can see, the belt is starting to back up. I could probably get a couple more smelters going if I had the space. I don't really have the space right now. And all of these other machines are cranking out. We've got the machinery parts getting made. Eventually, I think these will cap out at so many made, which will alleviate my iron plate line. But in the meantime, these are still going. And I think we're now keeping the science production machines moving more or less full-time. And that's the goal, is to keep our research moving here the full-time as well. So I'm going to drop these in here. Let's see what else we've got. We just finished steel. I see I've got a new mineral type over here. So I think I am going to come over and grab the research on the explosives next. And this is going to unlock high voltage on this side, transformers, boilers, steam turbines. Oh man, yeah, this is like that whole steam power stuff from Factorio. We've also got concrete production down here, a casting machine, tanks. I assume this is for liquid. Incinerator, high voltage we just looked at. What do we got? Mining efficiency, that's cool. Power poles, wall-mounted power poles. And pumps for pipes. Okay. Well, I think this is all going to be part of the power infrastructure. Oh, there's our pipes. A plumber's tool. I don't know what that's for. Pipe intake, pipe. All right. We got all kinds of cool things. Ore refinement. Unlocks the option to refine ore to increase efficiency. So it takes rubble and turns it into ore. Oh, using a crusher, which is the thing that we just unlocked the machine for. And then I have tier 2 rods, so I'll make more. Oh. Well, we definitely need to get that going. So once we get explosives unlocked, I'll probably jump over here and do the ore refinement before we go any further down that path. So if we look at our new recipes here, I've got a crusher 1. Which is just going to need some plates. But again, I don't have the recipe to actually take advantage of that. We got the light pole, we got doors, advanced machinery parts, got all that stuff. Oh, this iron blend gets made in the crusher, the xenoferrite ignium ore blend. Okay. So we can start trying to make some steel over here. Let's go ahead and mine out a space for that then real quick. We're going to toss down a bunch of platform. And I think I'm going to set up a dedicated miner just for the steel production here. If we can get enough plates. As always, plates seem to be the bulk of our problem. Maybe I'll get some of these machine parts just in case I need them for something. And we'll build the miner. Where's this crusher? We'll build a crusher. Let me look how big this crusher is. The crusher is a 2x2 as well. I don't know where I'm going to run the material just yet. I think I'm going to put the crusher here and the mining station right next to it. And then if we take this material out of the miner and run it into the crusher, like so. Figure crusher to make this. I need to bring this back over here. We were not done using this like I thought. I could do this more conveniently, but you know what? Instead, let's just make a second lane loader. Get a few more plates. I can't wait for our plate production to catch up and backlog on me. There we go. Inputs on both sides. So now I'm making the xenoferrite ingium ore blend, and I can feed that into a smelter. And feeding that into a smelter is going to give me the steel that we need. Now, I think we're going to want a couple of these. That's coming in at 20 per meter, 20 per minute. We'll have to gather some more resources here to get another smelter going to start producing steel. I don't want to crowd that area up too much. I'm gonna get dizzy trying to pick these plates up like this. I don't want to crowd the area in too much over here because I suspect I'm gonna want at least one more of these crushers as well. In fact, I know I'm gonna want them so much that maybe I should just get the materials now to do that. One more crusher. That way I don't box myself in too much. And as always, I should probably figure this out. So I found this other thing. I can copy a configuration. So I'm going to Control Q to copy that structure with the same configuration. I'll put it down right here. See, so now I'm still set to the same recipe and the same machine. And then I'm going to grab this one up and I'm going to do the same thing, Control Q. And just like that, we've got the crusher running over here. Need more plates. Make another one of these range 2. I like the idea of these range 2 things picking this up because that means I'll be able to run the output for the steel right along here. There we go. We're now making the ore blend on both of these. And then if I just come over here real quick, we can get our output going. We're going to output there. We're going to output here. And you can see I like the different texture there. It looks good. And that leaves us with needing to start smelting all of this wonderful material. Let me just clear the way here. And I'm just trying to think about how I want to run this. Somehow I need to get the steel back out of this machine when we're all said and done, which is going to end up coming out the other side of it here, unfortunately. Man, I need more parts. So that's going to come in, and then it's automatically smelting steel beams at 10 per minute. And then I will be able to pull those steel beams back out of here on the other side and do something with them, send them somewhere. I don't know. But we've got it all set up here. We got it figured out. Let's go unload our science packs again. And we need to really think about how we lay things back out to do this part a little bit more automatically. Because now the problem we're going to run into is I just picked both of those up. I've only got enough to put in one side. I'm going to have to do something on the other side. Our power grid, it's saying, is strained. Are we really at 2 megawatts of power now? We are. Would you look at that? Okay, well, in order to keep things going, I'm going to shut down this smelter since we're not really using the steel for anything just yet. We're going to do the same with both of these crushers. And we'll let this thing build up on ore, though. We can afford to let that machine keep going. And now if I look at the grid status, we're coming in just under the line. I like it. We can always build or make more power if we need to. And voila. We're not backing up on plates yet, though. We are still working on it. This is keeping up, that's for sure. The conveyors, not so much. This is where we're using 40 per minute. I just need to do the math on this here. 40 plus, oh wow, 72 per minute. Well, that explains a lot. And then each of these machines are using 40. So 40, 80, 120, plus I said 70? 72. So 192. And over here, we're only generating 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. That explains it all. Well, even with shutting down all the non-essential stuff, our grid still seems to be flickering into overburdened. So I believe it's time to add another power generation unit here. I'm trying to figure out the best spot to do that. I think we're just going to do it right here. And our research is just finished. Perfect timing. I'm looking here. Burner generate lots of plates. All right, lots of plates it is. And then we'll get the next research going. I think it's easier if I stand right here and grab my plates as they come through. While that's assembling, let's take a look at our next research. I said I was going to go and get the ore refinement stuff because that's going to let us get more efficient recipes for making things. So let me go ahead and do that. Start research. And I should have our new power burner ready to go. We'll put the panel over on this side. And we'll pull that in like so. We're now back up and running, lots of power. I'm going to go ahead and just turn all these machines back on, just so I don't forget that they were disabled for some reason. What else did I turn off? I think I might have turned off one of these science pack machines. Yep, that one right there. Okay, looking good. Let's go, while I'm thinking about it, loot our science packs. They're stacking up here. It's another 12. I think most of this research is only taking like 50 science packs. So while it would make sense to automate getting these red ones over here, so far it just hasn't been worth the hassle of rebuilding this part of the base. We're mining this stuff out. It looks like the steel, the intake on these is going up rather quickly. We're using a lot of materials here. Does that say 80? Oh, it does. 80 per minute. So between the two of these, I've got 160 going. I don't even know if these can keep up with that, but we'll see. It's draining the capacity here faster than they're mining it, which means, oh, yield last minute 60. Yeah, we're not going to keep up with that at all. What's this say? Yield 56, 52. I guess it depends on how far they have to travel and all that stuff. So 60, and then this is using how much? 80? Well, that's just really inefficient. Let me go ahead and tear one of these down. No need to push our luck on that. I'd rather keep things running in a way that makes sense and is going to be efficient. And that'll leave me a little bit more room when the time comes here to make more steel, because this is only burning them at 10 per minute. Yeah, we're going to need another one of these instead. Smelters. Need those plates. I don't even know what we need the steel for yet at this minute, but that's kind of irrelevant. We'll go ahead and slap one of these down. Actually, can I... How do I do that again? Is it Control Q? Invalid B? I can... Oh, because I can't Control Q because smelters don't have recipes. That makes a lot more sense. And we'll just bring that material right in like so. And now I've got two different smelters making steel, and they're going to just start stacking up their inventory here. So once we get things going where we do need steel for something, we'll be able to do something with all that. I like it. This is still going at 56. If I swing around here and look, we are keeping up with the ore. All these smelters in a line here. We really need to get a more efficient smelting setup. You know what we could do? Let me see if we can get another smelter. I think I could build another line of them on this side, at least a few, and then merge the plates in right here. We might have enough room. So I guess question one is, what happens if I just run some plates into that? I don't want to build it in a spot where I'm going to be in the way. I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay this out. That's an input, and then we're smelting. And then I'm going to bring this right back out. And before we get too far, I suppose we should test theory number one, which is, can I just run one belt into the side of another belt? We're out of conveyors. Luckily, I don't have to make these parts anymore. I can just come over here and grab a few. Not as many as I would like, but enough to keep us going. And if I run this right into this, like I know in Factorio I could do this. And yep, this is going to work. So I don't need another merger here. It's just going to try and force itself into this queue, which is good because it means that I'll get more plates going further down the line than I would have otherwise. And I can just do this as many more times as I want. I don't need to right now. It looks like we're not actually keeping up here. 50 or 60 is our max, I think. So at max, I could have 120 of these going. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. That was the perfect amount for these two miners. So adding this one into the queue is really actually going to slow me down. I suppose all that means is we need more miners. So we will solve that problem the best way possible, expanding the base. With our miner in hand, my intent is to actually place this all the way over here. And that'll allow him to start getting some of the ore on the far side. And to keep out of the way of the drones, we're gonna put this on the side here and run it down like so. Perfect. Well, sort of perfect. Now I don't get the capacity. So now is when we're starting to get to a point where I need a faster belt to move all this ore if I want to keep doing it like this. I could always just move the second smelting line over here, and instead of forcing it all down that line, I could have a second line to feed another group of smelters. But I kind of like just having a single line here, as inefficient as that is. Looks like we're figuring it out, though. I wonder what the capacity is of one of these lines. It doesn't tell me. Oh, 160 right there. And I should have the capacity for 60, 120, 180 between the three of these. So I will now be bringing in more ore than I can handle, in theory, over time. 20, 40... 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. I've got enough ore capacity now, though, to support one more smelter. So let's go ahead and do that. I know we've got some optimization problems. The fact that we're feeding all of these with a single belt is a little bit of a problem, at least until I can get upgraded belts, or I feel like flopping this design around to have 2 ore belts coming in, but I don't really feel like doing that at the moment, and I just built a second smelter when I didn't need to. My bad. Well, we'll get him smelting. I need more plates, always the more plates to build these loaders. And now we're creating even more plates. I love it. The more plates, the better. And our ore situation is working out well. Ideally, I guess I would want to, at some point, merge all of our ore. I don't see a reason to merge the ore together now that I said, actually. We've got these going. We're still making steel beams. We haven't gotten to whatever their max size is, probably 200. I think our research is probably topped out, though. We've been building stuff for so long, I haven't been managing that. I've got 25 science packs there, another 25 here. Oh, we've still got a couple in that one. Dump some in here. Speed up things. And we're almost to that ore refinement, and we'll have things optimized. Oh man, remember last episode where I was saying how I wanted a jetpack? Look, there's jetpacks. It's locked, but it's there. Ooh, solar panels will be fun too. There's all kinds of cool stuff down here at the bottom of the tree. I was looking down here because I saw in the ore refinement category here, when I mouse over this, there's a smelter small, which is what we're using right now, and then there's a regular size smelter that's a 3x3 structure. I haven't found that regular smelter. Ooh, there's a third lane loader as well that's locked in the demo. I'm really trying to look around to see if I can find that smelter. Even if it's locked, I was just kind of curious what it would be locked behind, but I haven't found it yet. Oh, I guess I could look over here. Are these researches? I was hoping these were like the buildings. Well, I just clicked through all these. I didn't see anything with the smelter. Oh, there's our research complete. I do see we got a chemical processor, fluid assemblers, ignium powder. We got all kinds of cool advanced recipes coming down the line here at some point. But for right now, I guess we will stay focused on what we have available in the demo. And I think our next order of business is actually going to be the new ore scanner. We'll keep unlocking these resources and getting those moving. I'd love to play with the liquid at some point here with the pipes and the tanks and such if we can. I think that's going to let us do the boiler at some point. We're just unlocking stuff at this point, folks. But with the ore refinement here, I need to get some crushers going. We're going to crush our ore and use the new recipes in order to get more resources. However, I think we're going to do that in the next episode here. We got all the steel production up and running, which is awesome. That was a new level of tech we're not even using yet, but it's there and going. We've gotten all of our resources really pumping through things. We've got the plates stacking up now, which is great. That's what we've been waiting for because it slows us down so much when we're trying to make stuff. And as you can see, like this one here doesn't even have room to put them on the belt. So I can start picking these up into my inventory to have resources available when we need it. 99 in that one, 41 in that one. I love it. We've got everything right where we want it to be. Again, I think the only thing that we should automate that we haven't is these science packs. However, we're gonna call it here, and I'm going to work on the crushers and smelter change-ups for our ore. In the next episode, we'll get things moving in a much more efficient manner over there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, and we're going to keep playing through the demo here of Foundry all week this week, try and get through unlocking all of the content that's available in the demo before it goes away. If you enjoyed this game, go ahead and head over to the Steam storefront and wishlist this game. Helps the developers out a lot. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Ketterk out.